Mostafa Zaghloul, welcome to Dr. Dad Business Talks. It's a pleasure having you with us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Mustafa, you are a global business leader with an entrepreneur mindset that started early and never slowed down. You held senior roles in the biggest multinationals such as Unilever, Mars, and Henkel, managing businesses worth over $600 million. But beyond results, your true purpose is simple: to make a difference in people's lives. What career advice do you have for fresh graduates out of college?
Let me start by defining that the first 5 years in your career are the most important years in your whole life.
Okay.
Okay? The most important. And why I'm saying that? Because there is a very thin line between the enthusiasm and the passion that a fresh grad has, okay, versus the reality on the ground and how the corporate world works.
Mm-hmm.
So my first advice would be obsessed with learning. Learn. Don't run behind accelerated growth in your hierarchy. Don't run behind promotions. Learn and try to find where you will get the maximum in your first 5 years. So treat the first 5 years as if it's a paid MBA.
Nice.
This is how you need to consider it.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Imagine you're investing in yourself and you're getting paid. That if you think this way, you relax.
Yeah.
And trust always the system, especially if you're working in big organizations. Trust the system and the process, because the leaders that are managing those businesses are people that hold 10, 20, 30 years of experience. So just hold your horses a bit, okay? And seek learning, not positions, at least in the first 5 years.
Nice.
Nice advice.
Very nice.
How can a fresh college graduate decide to work for a multinational company or a small company, in your opinion?
So I'll give you my opinion at the end, but let me rephrase the sentence. So
Rephrase the question.
the question itself. So it's not a multinational or small. It's large or small. Because multinational or local or regional, if it's in a big scale, that's one dimension.
Yeah.
The other dimension is a startup or a small organization, okay? So if I answer this question, each of those has its pros and cons. A big scale organization will give you stability, governance, compliance, system, routine, discipline, all these type of things. A small organization will give you the breadth, the speed, the entrepreneurial mindset you might need.
Yeah.
So the question to answer this is, where will I get the maximum learning? Where I will be taught, coached, or mentored the best? So I would tweak the question towards the organization. And how would you know that? From the name of the organization, the culture, the reputation, even select the line manager if you can get some insights, because your first line manager will resonate with your mind and heart for your whole life.
You mean the one that you report directly to?
Directly to, in your first early couple of years, you will never forget this person.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Yes.
So you need to select as much as possible where you will get the maximum teaching or mentoring or coach, okay? But then, if you decide to go with this or that, a hybrid model in your career, working for a large organization, then a small, or if you don't have the opportunity, you start with a small organization, then a large one,
Yeah.
it's okay, but try to expedite the maximum benefits from both, from the nature of each organization. My personal recommendation, if you have the choice, select the large organization in the beginning, because you need to be a small part of a big organization to learn these tiny steps and disciplinary tasks that you need to do every day. And then
And when you say large, you mean how many people? How many employees?
hundreds or thousands
The hundred.
or more. Yeah.
So small is below 100, you mean?
Yeah, I would say that. But again, the turnover is a differentiator. It depends on the nature of the industry itself. But if you talk FMCG, yes, I would say that.
Off to you, Dr. Dat.
Okay. What makes a good sales leader in the FMCG industry? Or for the few viewers who don't know, what does FMCG stand for?
Fast-moving consumer goods.
Fast-moving consumer goods.
And this is the most, from my point of view, the most dynamic industry to work in or to work. Okay, very dynamic. Competition is very tough.
Why is that?
Because it's consumer goods.
Because it's fast-moving.
It's fast-moving. You choose your food, your detergent, your FMCG products every single minute, hour, day. It's not like you buy a TV every couple of months or a year. It's not like a car, you buy a car every year.
5 years.
But the other thing is every day you purchase.
Yeah.
That's why it's very, very dynamic. And the shelf has all players at the same time. So if you buy a car, you know where you're going. You go to the showroom for the brand that you selected already, and then you choose the model. But in FMCG, the shelf has 10 or 20 or 100 players. So you need to be on your toes as a company, as a supplier, inside the retail store, every single minute to be picked by a consumer.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the FMCG. Back to your question, Dr.
So what makes a good sales leader?
So, first question you need to ask yourself to become a good sales leader is, what's the future state you want to be remembered with? What's the legacy you want to leave behind after 10, 20, 30 years? And the legacy most probably will be something around creating a leadership pipeline for the people that you've led or managed. So my first
So that they can go up.
Exactly. So people don't remember, in any company I've worked for, they don't remember in a certain month or a certain year, how much did I achieve from the target? How much did I miss? How many cartons I sold? No one remembers that. But people remember Mostafa Zaghloul is a good leader or a bad leader. They remember incidents that reminds them with good history or bad history.
Personal incidents.
Exactly. So this is the first advice. As a sales leader, you need to care about creating and building leaders, not followers. That's the first advice. The second advice to be a sales leader, you need to be obsessed with customers, with trade, with retail. All your answers are in the market. It's not in the office. It's not on the desk.
So you have to understand the market.
100%. The sales is a very unique job. Other functions can operate daily from an office. Sales cannot. If you tell me you will get double the salary and you sit the 8, 10, 15 hours you work for on a desk, I won't be able to do that. I won't.
He has to be in the field.
I need to be in the field. I need to be with the customers. I need to be with my sales team. I need to be with my consumers. This is where all the answers are. So this is the second advice I would give to a sales leader. The third and last advice to become a sales leader is be curious. Ask questions. Learn. Always ask questions.
Learn the business.
Learn the business, learn the consumer, learn the customer, learn everything. Learn the product itself. Always ask questions. If you're not curious, you won't get information. And information is knowledge. And knowledge is power. That's the answer in simple.
So you use the rule of 3 always when somebody asks you to give something.
I always give 3 advice. I always give them 3s, yeah.
Okay, following that, because you touched a little bit on it, what kind of personality? Let's focus on the personality. Do you need to succeed in the FMCG industry? It requires a specific personality.
100%. So in FMCGs in general, and if you want sales even in specific, you need to be agile. You need to be resilient. You need to be adaptive. So those characteristics you cannot live without in any FMCG company. Because as we said in the beginning, it's a very fast, dynamic industry. Things change. Even the rules change. The rule of the game change. The customers change. The consumer preference changes every day and every minute. So you need to be agile. You need to have the mindset that everything will change and I'm okay with that. Okay? The second...
When you say agile, do you mean you need to be a cheetah rather than a turtle?
Even a turtle has its positives, but yeah, definitely a turtle won't work in FMCG because the speed will be one of the characteristics that you need to learn also. So that's the first thing in the personality. The second thing in your personality, I think, is you need to be comfortable with discomfort.
Wow.
You need to be okay with that because it's not a comfortable industry. It's not a comfortable job, regardless of the function you work in.
There will always be unknown areas.
100%. And you will always wake up in the morning, you find something new happening. From a customer, from a consumer, from a competitor, from one of your people, internally, externally. You will always find things like that.
Comfortable with surprises.
100%, especially bad surprises. I hate bad surprises, but it's everywhere. Yeah. But that's something you need to be comfortable with. You need to be comfortable with that. Yeah.
Back to you.
How does the personality of a salesperson differ from the personality of a marketing person?
Okay. So unlike other industries, in some areas, some industries, people think that sales and marketing are the same.
Yeah.
You find even some titles in some industries, like I'm a sales and marketing manager. It doesn't exist this way in FMCG.
Cannot.
It's two different type of work.
Yeah.
Because some companies still have sales and marketing department rather than separating them.
You have a commercial leader at the end, but I mean on the ground, you need to separate between sales, marketing, trade marketing, shopper marketing, customer marketing. So you have a lot of channel managers, so these type of things. Yeah. But the broad perspective, if you want me to explain what's the difference in the personality, since we talked about that, a salesperson is usually externally wired person. So a salesperson is always energized by people, by customer, by external factors.
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't like to sit in the office.
No, and usually they are an extrovert people. Okay, while a marketeer is usually internally wired, strategically wired. So it doesn't mean that internally is something bad, but they complement each other. So the salesperson makes you win today. The marketing person makes you build tomorrow.
Yeah.
You need to combine both characteristics in any organization to improve, to grow, to sustain the business. You cannot live with one without the other.
Now, how do you think, because this is a popular subject nowadays, how do you think AI will affect the FMCG industry?
Yeah, we always hear this question.
Yeah.
So AI is a blessing, by the way. AI is not something bad. Okay, AI is an evolution that happened, technology that came up, and we need to live with it.
Not be afraid of it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But people are afraid of it.
Yeah, because they don't understand it, mate. Because they don't understand. Because you're not curious. Because you don't ask questions. Because you don't read about it. You don't dig deep. So a general rule, I always say, AI will not replace human beings. We always hear that, right? But the very famous statement is, people who use AI will replace people that don't use AI.
Correct.
Nice.
That's what will happen in the future. Yeah. But AI will help you a lot because it will help us take faster and more qualitative decisions. Why? Because there are a lot of day-to-day tasks, routine work, admin work, reports, dashboards, that there is no need anymore to spend time in it because AI will generate that.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the most important part with the introduction of AI, that the human skills will become more valuable. So that's the shift that you need to understand.
And here in human skills, do you mean what's called soft skills?
Whatever human skills, so could be leadership skills, could be
Communication,
judgment, communication, like human interaction
decision making.
will become more valuable, because you shouldn't be worried anymore about a report, an Excel, a
Yeah.
PowerPoint. This could be done by AI. So most of your
The
time,
routine, repetitive.
yes, most of your time you will spend with human beings. Quality time for your team, quality time with your managers, quality time as a big team and an organization. So I think, yeah, AI is a blessing and it will help us a lot in FMCG and non-FMCG for sure.
Yeah. Off to you, Dr. Lab.
Thank you. What marketing and sales skills will still matter 10 years from now?
So, okay, what skills will still remain as a priority for 10 forever, actually? I'll tell you something that will stay forever.
Yes, let's take it forever.
The number one skill for sure will be communication skills. For sure. We're human beings.
And we like to communicate with each other.
We cannot live without communicating, actually. So it's
You
even
communicate with
weird.
machine.
We cannot, yes. Well, even machine, you communicate with a special code,
Yeah.
but it's still communication. But what I mean here is communication skills is the number one skill in any organization, in any industry, regardless of the age or the years. That's number one. The second skill will always be critical thinking and business acumen. So because we're managing business, so we will always manage P&Ls, we'll always manage numbers, we'll always manage KPIs. So this will remain a skill that we cannot get rid of. The third skill is agility. You need to learn how to unlearn and relearn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the agility is a skill that some people disregard in the current life. Some people are like very rigid in their mind that this is my way,
And they don't want to learn anything new.
Yeah.
they won't succeed. They won't succeed for sure.
Very interesting. I love your method of the rule of three. Everything you give us a list of three.
I'm trying.
Another question that I'm curious about, if you could coach every new manager on just one habit based on your experience, what would it be? The most important habit that a manager should have to succeed.
I'll tell you one answer. Might be tiny, but
Powerful.
very powerful, very powerful. And I've learned it from my first line manager, as I told you. So,
Do you still remember his name, by the way?
100%, 100%.
And that was 20 years ago.
This was 24 years
Of
ago.
course, we don't want his name. I just said remember his name.
100%. I remember even day by day what happened in the first couple of months. I remember it. With the goods and bads.
And everything.
Yeah, with everything. Type. So, the one thing that I will recommend new managers or leaders to do is make yourself comfortable to have weekly one-to-one meetings with your team members.
That's very important.
Yeah.
And don't do it mechanical. Don't tick the box. Don't sit, send an invite, do it virtual or face-to-face, ask some questions, tick, and you go. No. Make it personalized, make it human. Still in the business, but ask the right question. What's working? What's not working? How can we help? How can we give support? What are the challenges you have that we have a role in to solve? So if you keep this habit, regardless of the number of employees you have. Regardless. By the way, it could be a catch-up for 10 minutes.
Exactly. 5 minutes.
5 minutes. But if you just keep the momentum of those one-to-one, and I prefer, if it's possible, face-to-face, unless you're managing the remote teams. But if you create this habit, it will make a huge difference in the team's spirit and morale, but will also add value to you because you will know a lot every day on the business. You will be in control, and you would never imagine after doing that the difference that will happen in your knowledge about the business.
Because we did one reel on one-to-one meetings.
One-to-one. Not group meetings, one-to-one meetings.
And it had the highest viewing.
Yes.
That one reel on one-to-one meetings.
Yes.
Was very popular.
Yeah. So I didn't know that, but I still answered the same.
Very nice. Back to you.
So, Mostafa, what do you think are the best KPIs for sales and the best KPIs for marketing?
So in sales, we have, I can tell you 10, 20 KPIs, but if you want me to select like the top one or top two,
Yeah.
We don't want.
I would say quality of distribution and, more important, strike rate or conversion rate, which is the percentage of turning
A call.
into a positive call, a productive call.
Yeah.
Or in terms of conversion, how many consumers entered the aisle or the store and picked your product and paid for. This is the number one KPI. You have a lot. So it could be revenue, could be number of cartons, number of tons, could be number of visits, could be a lot. But if you do your proper distribution to convert or to achieve the strike rate,
Yeah.
you're done. You're done. That's in sales. Marketing is a broader perspective. Again, there is a lot of KPIs, but I would say if I want to pick also one or two, so penetration growth is one thing that you need to consider, and brand awareness. There are a couple of KPIs around brand awareness.
Yeah.
So keeping your brand or your product top of mind all the time for the consumer. These are the most important KPIs for a marketer.
That will help you focus.
Yes.
Because if you have too many KPIs, you will get lost.
Yes. You still track KPIs through dashboards and reports.
Yeah.
But if you want to narrow it to one or two, those would be the two for each.
Okay, now what surprised you the most when you moved from corporate leadership to independent consulting?
I won't say surprised me, but I would say living it is more impactful than hearing it.
Yeah, of course.
So I've heard a lot about the life or the environment when you leave the corporate and go work by your own
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur or launching a startup. But when you feel it every day, it's like an aha moment. Wow, this is not easy. Okay, this is very different, very unique. So I'll tell you the number one realization after leaving corporate and moving to what I'm doing now is relationships and networks is everything. That's your everything. Biggest asset would be your network. That's the number one thing that I wake up and sleep every day, assuring that it's expanding, it's cleaned up, it's qualitative, it's not quantitative. So this would be the number one priority, and the number one from the question that is really different from the corporate world.
Yeah.
The other one would be what matters is the impact, not the hierarchy anymore. In corporate, people consider the hierarchy in the communication and in reporting lines and whatever. As a consultant, it's not the same thing. Definitely you appreciate or you respect with your client the hierarchy, but I mean in our world, as a consultant or a trainer, the impact is the thing that matters.
Correct, yeah.
So you become the product itself. You as a consultant, you become the product that you're trying to sell in a good way every day. So that's the main difference versus the corporate life.
And you think you made the right decision by switching?
100%.
And you are happy?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm sure that God made everything
Yeah.
towards this direction to ease the decision for me to do whatever I'm doing now.
Nice.
Off to you, Dr. Dog.
And before I ask you the question, one time there is a teacher, this is a story, was asking her students, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they all wrote, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer. And one student wrote, I want to be happy. And that's true. And the teacher said, you didn't understand the question, or you don't understand the question. He answered her, you don't understand life.
That's an adult, not a kid.
As an adult.
That's an adult, yeah.
Okay, how has your definition going? This is life related. How has your definition of success changed from when you were in your 20s to now? How has the definition of success changed?
My whole personality changed actually from 20s to now, in those 20 years plus. So in the beginning of your career, success would be getting promoted, hearing about the salary, caring about your incentive, recognition, certificates. This is what we care about. Why? Because we're very enthusiastic, we're very passionate, we're eager to get those recognitions, because this gives us the confidence inside.
And the ego.
And fulfills the ego, for sure. While now, being 45 years old, with the current context, this is not what matters now. What matters for me now, so success for me is freedom. Financial freedom, mental freedom, physical freedom, whatever type of freedom, this is success for me. The other definition for success would be the impact and the energy around me. And this is where I define the purpose that you mentioned at the beginning.
Yeah.
Making a difference in people's life every day. Why? Because this is creating the impact on people.
And
Why?
when you say impact, do people come to you and say you have did this to us?
Believe it or not, so the best day for me when I wake up in the morning and find a message or a WhatsApp or a call from an old friend or an old colleague that we used to work together, that sends me a message like, yesterday I had an incident where I remembered the meeting or the advice or the conflict that we went through, and I learned from it. This for me is like, they make my day.
Yeah.
So these type of things, this is the impact I'm talking about. And this for me, this is success. So the definition of success is
Has definitely changed.
100%. And success is becoming the person you are meant to be. That's success. It's not running behind the money. Money will come later. If you do the right things,
If you do a good job, money will come.
will come anyways. And it's not in your hands, by the way. It's in God's hands.
Exactly.
You just do your best. You help people, you help yourself, you educate
Yeah.
yourself, you learned, then you move on.
So, Mr. Mostafa, we need to know from you and learn from you, what's the best business advice you have received in the past and ignored, and now you regret? Like you know.
Regret, yeah. This sentence was advised or told by a line manager that if he sees the podcast, he will know himself. I won't mention his name.
Line manager, that means you reported directly to him.
Reported to him in several roles in one of the organizations, okay? And he always sees my passion. I'm a very competitive person. I'm a very, I'm an eager person. I'm an Aries, so I always want to win, okay? I'm very passionate. So the one advice he gave me, and I didn't listen to him because I didn't understand what he meant. He told me two words. He told me, slow down. So I don't understand. Slow down. Why? I need to accelerate. I need to grow. I need to be more passionate.
Yeah.
I need to spend more time. I need to fight every day. He said, no.
And you were in your 20s.
I was in my late 20s, early 30s.
And he was in his 40s, 50s?
Yes, he was in his 40s. So he told me, slow down because you're putting pressure, unnecessarily pressure on yourself.
On yourself.
Which is not helping you. You have already enough pressure being a salesperson, being a leader in an organization, being in FMCG, dealing with people every day, plus your personal life. So why are you putting pressure that you want to reach something by a certain time which is not needed? That's where I heard trust the system, trust the process, trust your manager, trust your leaders, trust your organization. So you need to focus on your work and slow down. But I didn't understand it. I didn't slow down. And by the way, it impacted my health at a certain point of time. And I collapsed several times because of that.
At that age?
At that age. I collapsed because I was taking it very tough and tight and very competitive. But now I understand. Now I give the same advice.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you have that same advice?
I'm giving the same advice to others, including my son. So my son now is 20. He's in the second year of university. And he has the same passion. And I always tell him, slow down on that and be passionate about that.
Wow, nice. Very nice.
Thank you so much, Mostafa. We want to thank you for coming and being here with us today. It was a pleasure having you. And we enjoyed a lot your answers. And I'm sure the viewers will also benefit a lot.
We learned a lot also from you.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure and happy to be a part of this great podcast, Dr. Dad and Hala. And I really appreciate your time and your questions.
Your time.
Yeah, wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.